Hey, this is Eddie Ifton. Before we start our great episode today that we have with Jordan Rubin, our guest, I just wanted to tell you about...
Mexicans. Why are they... No, Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, our sponsor. Just go to the website or go to them through our website, jimandeddytalkshit.com, and click on Adam and Eve. There's a banner site there. Click it on there. Anything you buy there, you get 50% off if you
on
go through
almost anything you buy
almost
there.
anything. Yeah.
Because there is a couple of things that if you buy there, they don't give it.
The animatronic Jason sex doll is not 50% off. It's free. And it's really Jason. No, you go on there, 50% off. You also get 3 free DVDs.
Not of your choice, but exciting DVDs nonetheless.
And you get free shipping.
I would go for Anal Whores 4, but only if you've seen the first 3.
Yes. And you got to put in the promo code. You got to put in Jason. So go to adamandeve.com on our website, jimandeddytalkshit.com. And now just listen up for this fantastic episode.
Two douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie.
Good evening or good morning or whenever you decide to download this fantastic podcast. This is Jim Jeffries. I'm here with Eddie Ift. I'm sitting on the couch with little Harlow the dog in between me. Jason's in the room. Say hello, Jason.
Hello.
Lalit's in the room.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, we got Machete as always.
He never talks.
No, never talks.
Getting very good at pinball. Very good at pinball. He is the next person to hold the crown. Lalit's very good. Jason's not very good. Eddie's pathetic at it.
I am absolutely pathetic at pinball. and I pretended like I didn't care, but the whole week while Jim was away, I practiced day and night. And I'm pathetic. Jesse Shapiro's here, and we've got a guest today, Jordan Rubin, an old friend of mine. I've known him for how many years? 12, 15, something like that.
Going on 12, 15, yeah.
Something like that.
Going 12, 15, Jordan Rubin.
It's got to be about 12 or 15 years now.
We've never met, have we, Jordan?
I don't think so. I think I've seen you in clubs like passing by.
I'm glad you said by and not out.
No.
I've seen you in clubs passing out.
Are you a heavy drinker?
Yeah. I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to be like all the time, every sort of day, but now I'm not.
He's
Right.
selective about it.
I'm selective.
Yeah.
I gave up for like a good 5-6 months completely.
Right.
And now I just sort of drink once a week.
It's got to be a really special occasion for him to get drunk.
Thursdays.
Like somebody more famous than him is around.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if
So-
somebody more famous than Jim goes, "Hey, you want to get drunk?" He'll go, "Okay."
I'm on it. I'm
Like
on
someone like James Smith or...
Yeah. There.
So have you been on TV before?
I have been on the tube, yeah.
Jason, get me a beer.
Jordan has his own show right now on ComedyCentral.com called The Download. I saw it the other day. It's very, very funny. And you had iJustine on
I was
there.
joking, Jason. I don't really want one.
Had you heard of iJustine before?
I know her just because I'm from Pittsburgh. Do you know who this iJustine girl is?
That rings a bell.
I guarantee you've wanked to her. I guarantee you have.
She's the biggest thing to come out of Pittsburgh since
it's
Jeff
Eddie's,
Goldblum and you.
Eddie's sister.
And Flashdance.
Right.
The biggest thing to come out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's Eddie's mum on holidays.
Yes.
If you want to get into large mothers,
Oh, look! If you want to see a photo of my mum, use Google Maps.
if your mom and Machete had a sumo wrestling competition, who would win?
My mum's got a bad back, an actual one, not like Jason, so I assume Machete. And also, my mother's almost 70, so I think she'd win.
Yes, iJustine though is she's this like internet sensation girl. She's like one of those people that's never done anything except she's like really good at the internet.
She became big because she got an iPhone bill that was something like 400 pages. And then she did, when the original iPhone came out, I guess AT&T printed these bills that were too gigantic. And she went online and was like, itemized the bill and went through because she was someone working in, tech and data.
Why didn't you get the all-you-can-talk plan?
Because they didn't have it in the beginning, or maybe they did, but they still listed all your...
I've had every cell phone device of all time. I can't remember getting a bill like that in the mail ever, but...
I once had one for £900.
I mean, I've had huge bills,
I've
but
had
I've never
those.
had a stack.
For a
of bills.
month, £900 for a month.
Well, the data roam shit.
But I was overseas and I was using
Yeah.
it, and sex calls and.
Well, I went to Montreal about 6 months ago for 24 hours, and I had an $800 bill. True story.
Really?
I'm not making a joke about sex calls or something. No, because the iPhone, when you go over the border, the iPhone's constantly sucking data. It's constantly checking for push email. It's constantly browsing. It's always looking for something, like a cell tower, I guess. And so I left it on. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you have to turn the data roam off.
That happened to you too.
Yeah, I have a bit on stage about it. I got a $1,700 bill
Yeah.
because I left my data roam on. I thought I was going into Wi-Fi,
Right.
But I had the data roam on, so I called them, and this is not a lie. The woman's name was Beatrice on the phone, and like, how often do you meet a Beatrice in your life? Like, they're very like. I think they went out with like Driving Miss Daisy. Like,
Yeah.
that's an old.
I like old people's names.
Yeah,
What?
Sadie.
But my point is,
my grandmother
like,
was
you
called
don't
Betty.
you don't hear this name often. So I called. The woman
And Mavis.
absolves me. Mavis, Gertrude.
Mavis is my other
The
grandmother.
woman absolves me. The woman absolves me of the guilt. Like, she goes, I'm going to take it off your bill. I understand we have this happen often. I'll
Right.
take it off your bill.
That's what they did.
And I was like, awesome. And then she goes, just hold for your confirmation. While I'm holding, I get disconnected from AT&T.
Who are these old people can't use the phone?
So I call back and I don't get her.
Right.
I get some guy and I tell him the whole story over, and he goes, yeah, I see your problem. Pay your bill.
Wow.
And so I go, can you get Beatrice? And he goes, there's 40,000 employees here at AT&T. There's no possible way I could ever find Beatrice. And I go, her name's Beatrice. I doubt you have another Beatrice there.
I think you called an old age home by accident. And some lady was just like, yeah, you're absolved of the whole thing. She's like sitting in a room with a wire not even connected to the...
Well, this is where I got in trouble. So I said to the guy, I go, what if, hypothetically, and I said the word hypothetically, I said, what if
Isn't that redundant? What if, hypothetically? Yeah.
That is true.
I said, hypothetically, what if I had kidnapped Beatrice's daughter and I have her in my basement right now?
Right.
And he goes, sir, are you joking? And I go, that depends. Can you get Beatrice? And he goes, sir, I'm going to need to get the police. And I go, you do that and Beatrice's kid gets it.
That's great. You should do that in your act.
Who was it? Jim Florentine used to do that shit. You know when he do all those prank calls?
Yeah.
You worked on that show, didn't you?
I wrote on Crank Anchors for a few years, and we did a bunch of calls together.
Remember
I wrote a call for him that we did that was one of my favorite calls, which was he called. We had car blazing sounds, like he's driving on the back roads in the woods, and he's calling to find out his electric bill. He's like, yeah, I had some problems. We got a real electric bill and an address, and so he calls and it seemed legit. She's looking it up, and then we have a car screech sound, and he hits something, and the woman on the end of the line is like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I hit a deer. And then I just start coming in very low, just going like, oh, God. Oh. And she's like, did you hit a person? He's like, no, just tell me about my bill. Listen, don't you worry about it. Talks her through this entire thing. And it just gets worse and worse. Then I'm just like, but you kicking me. And she's like, I have to call the police. And he's like, listen, you don't. And then it ended with a gunshot. And then he blew his own head off. And then she actually called the police.
Yeah, because he told me like a couple times the police came to his house. One time the phone company called him like to give him a better plan, and he said something like he needed a loan because he got his girlfriend pregnant. That's it.
Right.
And they offered him a loan, and they're like, "Well, we can give you $500." He's like, "I need $1,000." And they're like, "Why?" He's
Is
like,
this a call or this actually happened?
he would prank call and record them all. And so somebody was offering him a loan, and he goes, "Can I get $1,000?" They're like, "No, you can only get $500." He goes, "Well, that's it. Then I'm going to need to. I can't afford the abortion. I'm going to have to do it myself." So she starts screaming in the background, and he's like, "Get over here!" And he said he went out that day after they recorded the call, and he came home, and the police had like knocked down the door and gone like all through his house. Because the people that were offering the loan called it. But he had that happen like 2 or 3 times.
He did a few of those calls. I think that call that I wrote was actually based on one of his calls, which I think he drowned his own grandfather.
Yeah. I've heard that one.
In the bathtub.
somebody's offering him, like, would you like long distance service for 5 cents a minute? And the grandfather's going, oh, scrub my back. And he's like, shut up. And all of a sudden he keeps drowning him. And the person selling is like, I don't know how you should really do that. And all of a sudden he goes, oh no, he's not breathing. They were really good. We did something interesting today for Jason Hour. Jordan, you're not familiar with our Hour of Power here. Jason is...
Podcast?
Yeah, well, yeah, the whole podcast is called The Hour of Power, but Jason does a segment of the show called The Hour of Power where we let him interview our guest because Jim almost quit for a while, and Jim said, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. And I said, what are you going to do? I don't give a fuck. I said, Jason, what are you going to do? He goes, I think I'll have my own podcast because Jim and Eddie, you might be
we might bring in the fan base,
Right.
but he's got the talent.
But I'm the talent. So
You're the backbone of this whole organization.
No, don't say backbone.
No.
No. Don't say backbone. He's got terrible back pain. How is your back pain?
It's all right, man. It's like I'm doing better. It's sciatic though. I still have a little bit of a flare. Yeah.
Psychosomatic.
he explained it to me
I wish.
yesterday. He's
Psychosciatic, which is a great rap album name.
So what other pain have you got in your life at the moment? Body or mental? What would you say?
We haven't played Portal in a while.
We can play Portal
We
this
haven't hung
evening.
out.
We can play Portal this evening after the podcast. How about that? I've been away.
I actually have hung out with Jason lately.
Yeah, we hung out and I did a one-handed push-up.
At a party.
At a
in
party.
the middle of a party.
Sounds like a man who should be in a wheelchair with back problems.
No, it's not.
Did a one-handed push-up. Oh, the pain.
Jason,
As soon as pussy's involved, I'll do the worm.
I was
Does
coming
anyone want to see the worm? I'll fucking do it.
I was coming home from a gig on Saturday night, and I go, what are you doing, Jason? He's like, I'm at the best party ever. You'll love these people. They're all good looking and rich. Get over here. This party's great. I walk in. It's 5 people all sitting on a couch that Jason has fed pot brownies.
I got to tell a story. Now, if
in trouble for that shit.
if you've seen my last special, Alcohol Holocaust, which people in Britain might have, but anyway, I tell a story. If you see me do this story live, I tell a story about taking a friend with muscular dystrophy to a brothel. It's like a 30-minute routine, and it's a friend of mine. I took him to the brothel with his brother, and it's So there's this big story. Now, it had just happened in my life, the actual story, not the routine. And I flew back from the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and I was hanging out with Eddie, and Eddie has a friend. Now, this friend of Eddie's a fairly well-to-do young man. I won't say how he's got his money, but he's got some cash, right? We go to this hotel in the middle of LA, this really prestigious hotel, and I proceed to tell Winston and Eddie this story. And I'm talking about, so I've got this guy with muscular dystrophy, and there's hookers, and there's all these type of things. And then walks into the room.
In the middle of the story, the hottest.
I've
lived in LA. I've been all over the world. I can say this, they might have been the hottest.
Like out of
I've
a
ever
movie,
seen.
like if you said 5 hot chicks are going to walk in, like all like supermodels.
10 supermodels.
All of them just come in, and they were so hot that I didn't even think, I'll stop telling this story, I might be in with a chance. Just from looking at it, I thought, I got no chance here. And I continued on with my hooker and brothel story with the guy with muscular dystrophy.
With muscular dystrophy and how his pubic hair was matted down. There was cum in there. And how Jim didn't want to touch that part of him while he was dressing him. And the girls are just standing there, and I'm like, why do I have to be here right now? And I was looking at Jim like, do you know what you're doing right now?
No, I thought we weren't going to make friends with these girls. There was no way they were ever going to talk to us.
They all left.
They didn't even finish the rest of the story. These 5 hot women came into our lives and left right away. Not much of a story. You had to be there, I think. I've always prided myself on telling stories without having to end it with you had to be there. And I just did it.
I was just telling Jim before you showed up that I went to acting class with you back in 1842.
We did? In New York?
Yeah, remember what was her name? Joanna Beckson?
Joanna Beck? Was that the one where Darren Aronofsky
I
was
was
in the
just
class?
telling him, yeah.
Darren Aronofsky, the director of The Wrestler.
Which is
Black
The Wrestler,
Swan.
Black Swan.
Requiem for a Dream.
He actually, your dog is sucking me off.
That dog just likes to lick jeans.
Oh, okay.
It means that you've wanked in those jeans, haven't you?
Jim's trained her well.
It's like it's at the point of the taint.
That's okay. That's the same chair that Moshe Kasher jerked off in last
No.
week.
Oh, nice.
Just pass the dog over here. She can lick my jeans. Give her here.
I worked on the Oscars this year, and I went to the.
Hey, well done on that. They were a great success.
Oh, thanks. Believe me.
Tell me you wrote the jokes for them. They were good.
Well,
Did you go up to James Franco and go, try to act like you don't care?
I wrote the opening film, which I think went off pretty well, but is easily forgotten after the rest of the show.
They look like two presenters from the MTV Awards. It didn't look like the fucking Oscars.
Yeah, I'm a fan of older hosts for some reason.
Who know how to deliver jokes.
Well, I mean, it was an interesting year.
Older hosts or someone who's a comic of some description, not just a comedy actor, like someone who's actually gotten up and told jokes before.
Yeah, there's that school of thought.
Like where was the meeting where they decided on those two? Like, I don't want to lose you your job, but
No.
I think you may have
the
done that
show's
yourself.
over. The show's over. No. Well, quickly to get to the point before I forget with my ADD, I ran into Darren Aronofsky, the director, the Black Swan, who had taken this acting class with us, and I walked up to him just to say hi. I hadn't seen him in whatever it was, 10, 12 years, and he goes, "Hey, remember we took that acting class? Jordan."
He remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time I see him,
he remembered.
kinda
Yeah.
when I see him, he kind
And
of
I was with
runs away.
one of my closest friends, and he's like, "How did you remember that?"
I went to a movie.
Were he
premiere-
dressed in like the Black Swan or something?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
Yeah,
obvious.
yeah.
I saw him at a movie premiere once, and I went over to say hi to him, and he like completely shrugged me off.
Oh.
And
No, he
then-
remembered you. That's the
Yeah,
reason.
he did. And then later that night, when no one was around, he came up to me to say hi, and I was like, "No, say hi to me in front of all those
others.
people
Yeah.
again." But he was not the greatest actor in our class.
I just remember, it was funny, I remember
Who
him.
was? Was it Eddie?
No, I was a terrible actor.
I don't remember who. I know I must have been the worst, but I do remember him talking about. I talked to him on a break in class, and I said, well, I guess he went to Harvard or something, and he was like, I was like, what do you? He's like, well, I'm more of a director. I was like, so why are you taking class? He's like, I just want to understand the actor's experience. Back then, I was like, actor's experience. You know, I'm just like thinking like, who's this guy? I'm like, he's like, I'm directing this movie. It's called Pi. And I was like, I'm sitting there going like, Pi, yeah, I'm sure that one's going to be a good student film. Pi, like just rolling my eyes.
What
And
is
then
Pi?
came
Is
out.
Pi like a popular
I actually haven't seen it. Here's the thing. I remember him being the biggest dick I've ever met in my life. I think he's calmed down since then because I've talked to him a couple times and he's nicer, but he was one of those very arrogant, straight out of Harvard guys.
But he has every right to be.
No.
Sort of pulled it off, hasn't he?
But what had
No
happened-
offense to other Harvard guys that are going to hire me on shows.
when he was doing our acting class, he had just made the film, and I was trying to make a film at the same time. And I would call him. I had his phone number. I'd call him on the phone, and I'd go, "Hey, Darren, I'm trying to raise money. What do I do?" And he had a really unique way. He sent like friends and family like donated money to.
Also, having a good script must have had something to do with it.
And
Right.
so he would help me out. And
Did you tell him you had a bad script?
Yeah, and I'd call him like twice a week and get these.
Twice a week?
Yeah. He was helping me out.
Okay.
And then one day.
And why did he brush you at that party? I can't figure this out.
And then
So I
one
used
day.
to bother this guy every day.
And then one day I called
Guy's
him.
directing The Wrestler. You're like, how do I get my low budget Funny or Die video off the ground?
Yeah, can I get Mickey Rourke when he's just on a lunch break to do just a quick cameo in my film?
It's really funny.
It gets better. I call him one day on the phone, and he goes, I guess you didn't hear. I go, what? He goes, well, I'm kind of busy now. And I go, what? He goes, my film, I won Best Director at Sundance. And I went, oh. And he goes, not really going to be able to help you anymore.
That's the Darren I remember, though.
I like the honesty. Like, because I couldn't do that. I would just, I'm sorry.
And then not take my calls.
Yeah.
There's an amazing article I read this week again, which I'd read a year or two ago, which I'll forward to you. Maybe, I don't know if you guys ever post stuff on the website or that someone talks about, but they can't remember what it was. Because it's this great article by, I think, pretty successful screenwriter. And the article is called No, I Won't Read Your Fucking Script. And the whole thing is basically something that I think we all probably experience in this business to some degree, of people asking for help but not knowing that it just doesn't work that way. In the context of like, even say in stand-up, someone come up to you like, hey, I want to be a stand-up. I thought, or, your mother goes, oh, he's moving to LA and he wants to be a stand-up. I told him you'd take him out to coffee. And you're like, I don't.
Yeah, my mum's big on that one.
But it's not just about that can come off as very callous. And this guy did a great job of explaining the reason why, people come up to him and it basically explains that he has 2 piles of scripts by his bed. One is a pile of friends asking him to read, and the other pile is that his agents are waiting for him to read. And so he feels if he grabs one from the friend pile, he feels guilty. If he grabs one from the one that's work, he feels guilty that he's ignoring his friends. So where does this random guy who knows his sister's friend's cousin that hands him a script fall into that, category? And he's like, I don't have time to read between my writing and my family and these 2 piles of scripts. I just simply don't have time.
I feel like you have to help like the least likely to succeed person you will ever meet, which is why we have Jason on the show.
No, I can help comics who come into town a little. Like I can do that whole suggest these are the people you call. This is where you should go.
Right.
But I'm not gonna take you on the road with me and.
Well, that's the problem. Like sometimes you hand them a bit and they don't stop.
A lot of people
they become like Eddie with Darren Aronofsky.
A lot of people ask me for help just because I'm Australian, and they're like, I'm Australian as well, and I'm like, I never really worked in that country. I don't know.
See, but I help all the Australians.
But that's the thing. It's the expectation. Like if there's any connection. Oh, you're Jewish. Oh, you're from Australia.
I can't remember.
He's going to help me.
Someone who, if they're listening to this, who's a friend of mine, remind me this. But I don't remember even when I moved to England bothering people for help. You just do it. You just do it. You just pick up the gig guide and you find out where the things are. You ring the club owners and you have a go.
Yeah.
And you don't get on, and you don't get on, and then you start getting on.
You start getting on.
I mean, but and I don't mean this to be like I'm one of these guys that anytime someone says something nice on Twitter, I immediately direct message them back and say, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Like I go through all day. I'm doing this all day. Great joke. I say thank you specifically.
Really?
And then they go, I can't direct reply back. Follow me. And then it just gets all weird.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I got so many fans. It's unmanageable.
The only people I talk to are the ones that say rude things. So I have a very
or
busy
the strippers.
day.
You
See, this is the thing with Eddie. Eddie always types back to him and says, "Fuck you," like that, right? And then they always write
publicly or
no, but to him personally, but publicly and stuff. And then they always write back to Eddie something like this: "I was just trying to get your attention, right? I just want us to be friends, right? I actually really like you." And then Eddie's like, "Oh, okay, come to the show, right?" So that's what Eddie does. Now he's done this publicly so many times that his fans know the only way to reach him is not through kindness.
right.
If you compliment Eddie, you'll never get his attention.
Yeah.
If you go, "Oh, you rat-faced fuck, you're not funny," Eddie will fucking go.
I had a woman write the other day, and she goes, "You were talking about some fat annoying guest some fat annoying fan on the show. Was that me?" And I wrote back, "No, but you're fat too."
Right. Wow.
I like how someone can't just be annoying; they have to be fat and annoying.
We had on the episode of this show that I'm doing on ComedyCentral.com, Morgan Murphy. You guys know her.
I like Morgan.
I like Morgan a lot.
So she's on the show this
She's
week.
very dry.
And we just taped it, and she was talking about how on Twitter, this thing that drives her insane, which is she'll I guess something Germans. There was some news story. I can't remember the exact thing. It was something like they raised the price of potatoes or something, and she wrote a tweet just off the top of her head. She just said, "That's got to be the worst thing the Germans are ever responsible for." And she said someone immediately wrote her and wrote, "What about the Holocaust?" And that's the kind of thing she put it like that was a perfect example of the ones that drive me. It's just, and Morgan put it in the episode. She says it perfectly. It's like it's not just not getting the joke. It's the why are you following me? Like Morgan was saying how she, it's not like you've seen her talking about parenting tips or something on morning television, then all of a sudden she's writing these Holocaust jokes.
I hate the people who write to me and go, "When are you coming to Chicago?" Or "When are you coming to this place?" It's on the webpage.
Yeah.
Right.
It's there. You put no effort in.
Yeah.
You put my name and the thing into Google, it'll show up.
And then sometimes you're nice to them. You'll go, "I'll be there in July between the 16th and 19th." And
how do I get tickets?
What time? And
Yes.
you're like,
Yes.
"Fuck off!"
Yeah. What link do I have to get tickets?
but
Do a little bit of work.
But this is the same whole thing that I'm talking about with this article. It's like at what point you sound like an asshole at that point.
Yeah.
Like, why are you sounding like an asshole? You went and said something that was already Googleable, and then they ask for more.
Yeah. Well, it is the thing. Gigs used to be this way. You used to go down to the record store. You used to pick up one of those magazines that had everything that was coming to your town.
Yeah.
And you went, oh, fucking great. This band's coming. This comic's coming. Whatever.
Now you're essentially text messaging
now people
Elvis
have
Presley
to be,
or whoever.
Now people have to be invited.
Yeah.
And they have to ask the actual person the direct question.
Right.
Are you going to be doing that joke about such and such when you come and play Seattle?
Yeah.
I might. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of that right now. And yeah, but you do. You sound like a fucking asshole.
Imagine people really texting or DMing or replying Elvis Presley or
Well,
Frank Sinatra. When are you coming to
This is
Vegas?
the fact right now. As soon as this is being listened to, my Twitter's like this right now. When are you coming to Seattle? When are you coming?
Well, I can't believe
Right.
people like.
People are going to do it to piss me off.
And I can't
Right.
believe some of the biggest celebrities. I follow Judd Apatow.
That's the worst when they do a joke like this. Like they'll play about, and then it'll be a week later. You'll forget this went up. So they're like, "Hey, when do you come to Seattle?" When? And you're like, "Well, I don't get it." And they're like, "Kids, you talked about it in the podcast." You're leave me alone.
Oh yeah, because all next week, all I'm going to get is Eddie, you rat-faced fuck.
Well, I tell you, I got to give something to our fans. The Eddie If Has AIDS campaign. Let's end it now. It's over, but you've done a wonderful job.
Amazing.
An amazing job. You've gone above and beyond what we thought you would all do.
I can't believe how far they went.
My favourite one is the picture of you looking all quizzical, and it's like got the got milk sleeve on the thing, and it says got AIDS. I have to say, I think Wikipedia is off. You can't do Wikipedia.
No,
That's
it got taken down really quickly.
No, because that one, his mum reads Wikipedia. I like the T-shirt that said Eddie has AIDS, and it had a picture of him on Maury Povich with the Maury Povich little logo that said Eddie has just found out he's got AIDS, and Eddie's pulling one of these like sort of, well, what happened?
That's funny you say the got milk, got AIDS thing. I remember when I was a little kid, it was probably one of the first times I heard an offensive joke, I think. It was probably this joke. When AIDS came out and then people were afraid of AIDS and it went through and then a kid came up to me. I must have been 8 years old or something. I remember a kid saying, "What does gay stand for?" And I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Got AIDS yet?" And I was like, I remember just being like, "Oh God, that's awful." You don't joke about that. You do joke about that.
My first recognition of off-color jokes were always racist Aboriginal jokes. That's all I grew up with.
See, we didn't even know what Aboriginals were.
Well, they're the same as your black jokes.
No, they're not, because your Aboriginals are Native American Indians.
I'll tell you what I do. What I like about the Aboriginal
But it
jokes.
is like Newfies.
And they are in poor taste, but they're the same as the black jokes over here, but they've got a more outback feel to them.
Yeah,
right.
You know, there's an Australian.
I'm a rural.
Like, what does an Aboriginal woman use for a vibrator?
What?
A Coke bottle filled with flies, right? Now
Right.
that's kind of, no, I don't. I'm not condoning that joke. I'm just saying.
I am.
I'm just saying
I'm
in the
condoning
sense that know.
And I like also the reference in that joke, slight reference to the gods must be crazy.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Coke bottle, wasn't that or something?
Yeah,
What's the one? An Aboriginal walks into a bar with a seagull on his shoulder, and the barman goes, "Where'd you get that?" And the seagull goes, "Down at the dump."
I'm back to the age joke.
That is just complete. It's racist for anyone.
No, but it's still a bit Australian. There's a seagull there, and it's a pub.
Can I
wanna
tell
go
one
back
of
to-
those
wait,
jokes?
I gotta tell my favorite AIDS joke that I heard as a little kid, like when AIDS first came out.
I like that you have a favorite AIDS
Oh,
joke.
I've got a million. A guy.
A lot of them have been dying out.
A bartender at like my dad's club where he plays golf said to me, he goes, "Did you hear Greg Louganis has AIDS?" And I went, "No." And he goes, "Do you know how he knows?" I go, "No." He goes, "The gerbil popped his head out of his ass and saw his shadow." And
I like that.
the
That's your
groundhog.
favorite?
I don't love AIDS jokes, but I love
that.
the groundhog.
That's the Groundhog Day. You know,
Yeah.
the groundhog comes out, sees his shadow, goes back in. But I love that I felt, oh, he does. I didn't know Greg Louganis has AIDS, and then
I was in the corporate box. I feel terrible already saying this. I was in the corporate box for my agents. My agency gave me 2 seats in the corporate box to see one of the Lakers playoff games when they were still in the playoffs.
did they limo you there too?
No, but we were sitting there,
fucking-
and the corporate box next to us is the one owned by Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson was sitting exactly next to me, but just with a sheet of glass between us, right? And I said to my dad, "Dad, I was sitting next to Magic Johnson, right next to him with a sheet of glass between us." My dad was like, Thank God for the glass, eh? That's like, my dad wasn't
Unbelievable.
excited. He went straight for AIDS. My dad went, oh, yeah.
Jason, he hasn't even been in the episode. Can we do an hour of power with him?
Now, why is it called an hour of power?
His surname's Hour.
Oh, okay.
His last name's Hour, and Jim said that's what he should tell any girl. That's his pickup line.
Yeah, his pickup line should be, are you ready for the hour of power?
When
I like
really he does. He can go for an hour, but that's just because he has to take a shit.
Yeah.
You can't come when
Are
you
you
take a
upset?
shit,
What's
right?
wrong with you today?
I have to go pee really bad.
Oh,
No,
no,
you're
no,
not-
no,
you're not.
I
you did
drank 2 glasses of
No,
water
You did-
before
no,
I
no,
got here.
no. You
I'm
can
ready.
You can last out an episode.
All right.
You're like a child. Every time it's like you're in the back
It
seat.
happens once in a while for
You're in the
some
back seat of the car of life, and you're fucking bitching constantly. I need to stop. I need to wait. My brothers are picking on me. This chair hurts my sciatic nerve.
Jason, why don't you do the hour of power? Let's just do it. Come on. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
He hasn't got a bad back. He really needs to go to the toilet.
He drug-
He's a hair mogul, and he's got 2 friends, and they're not me already.
He's never bought a shirt in his life, but he's got many. He feeds people pot cookies and doesn't tell them.
His dog would kill itself if it could hold an implement.
Okay, go ahead, Jason. That's a good way to start with a cough.
Yeah. That's how.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Hour of Power with our guest Jordan.
Hello.
He doesn't remember his last name.
What's
his last
Jordan's
name?
I
last
don't
name?
remember your last name.
It's like a deli sandwich. A deli sandwich.
Jordan Pastrami.
Salami.
No, the sandwich, the whole sandwich together.
Club.
No, yeah. Jordan,
Don't give it to him.
Jordan's 16th sub with meatballs.
Come on, guess his name then. Get it.
It's a Jewy sandwich.
This is the greatest
Jordan
hour. of
Rubin.
power. Yeah.
I like that.
Do you like Reubens?
From now on,
I love Reubens.
From
I've
now
never
on,
had a Reuben.
I love a Reuben.
Oh,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
delicious.
From now on, just call him Jordan Jewy sandwich.
Chewy sandwich.
It's
Okay.
like a triple alliteration. He's like a superhero. Jordan
Jordan.
Jewish. No,
No,
it's
it's
only
double.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Can you
I got
do your
excited
show?
on the yes. Well, this is
Hey,
typically,
it's his show. Don't interrupt
Oh,
him.
you're right.
typically this is how the Hour of Power goes. I go about 3 or 4 seconds, then I get
Okay.
heckled and laughed at.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
It's
did
like
actually,
sex for him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pointing and crying.
Typically, yes. So, Jordan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you enjoying the Talking Shit program thus far?
Yes, thus
Yeah.
far, yeah.
You know, a lot of people that come down here actually enjoy doing the show because it's a little bit looser format and not quite an interview or, you know, it's not like a typical podcast where you're just talking.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, we're swimming.
I've
What the fuck are we doing?
It's true. I've never heard a podcast where people just talk.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I don't really have much today.
No, come on. Come on, you were doing good.
Would you like me to do a song?
Do you have a new song for
I have
us?
a new song.
Okay, I know what the new song's about. No one will play me the new song. I've heard from Meredith today you're looking forward to the song.
I don't
You
think
know,
we're going to let you play it.
She's really talkative about
Yeah.
everything I say to her, I guess.
I don't think we're going to let you play the song today.
Okay.
I really, you played it for me today and I didn't really like it.
Why? What's so bad about the song?
This has been the Hour of Power brought to you by adamandeve.com. Remember, most purchases, 50% off.
And what
Also,
what code do you put in?
You put in Jason, Jason,
And you get 50% off.
Most items.
I would like all of Jason's fans to buy something from Adam and Eve.
They sponsor that Hour of Power.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, why
It's
not?
the shortest show ever.
Jason, we did something though today. Lalit, do you have those?
Yeah.
We gave Jason an exam to take, which was a psychological
Oh, I've
profile.
heard about this. Can I read this?
Wait. Psychological program.
You get
What did you think I was giving you?
You get one, I'll get the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give me one of them.
Wait, we're not going to know who. I'm mixing them up. Okay. I've got one. Jim has one. And one of them is Jason Hour's psychological profile. The other is John Wayne Gacy.
Okay.
You know,
And-
John Wayne Gacy is one of my favourite serial killers. He's the one who dressed up as a clown and used to have sex with men and then call them faggots afterwards and say that he was doing a good job by killing them.
Right.
And he just fucked them because, you know, they deserved it or whatever they did wrong.
Okay, so
And you also have
we are going
Richard
to.
Ramirez.
Okay, well, we have Richard Ramirez too, who's another serial killer. But what we're going to do, I'm just going to read these two, Jason Hour's and John Wayne Gacy's, and we're going to read a couple of the answers.
Not necessarily in that order.
No, and you are going to guess which is which.
Okay.
Okay. So
Based on not knowing much about, I love serial killers, but not knowing much about those two, and just meeting.
This is just the forms that they had to fill out for an occupation.
okay.
And Jason, what are you doing? Seriously.
He's got to go hide the body.
He just goes, I have to go.
He can't not fucking go an hour without having a piss.
All right.
Have you ever done it during a stand-up gig? Actually, I have done that.
Yeah, I've
Peed in the game.
I've halfway through the gig gone, I really need the toilet.
Wow.
Can we all convene back again?
Wow.
a bunch
I was doing like an hour and a half set,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like it wasn't like any, but a couple of times. What we're going to do is we're going to read John Wayne Gacy's psychological profile and Jason Hour's psychological profile, and we'll talk about things as we go along.
Okay, but we're going to
Did
read.
you know this is what we were doing? No.
You
Okay.
had- when I was giving you a psychological exam, what did you think I was doing?
You know what I like? You're both fat clowns.
What did you think I was doing?
Being you, whatever. I don't
What do you
know.
mean you? Being,
You're always up to something. Something on the other end of it. I don't know.
I called you and said, come over. And I go, what are you doing? I'm at the coffee shop. And I go, come over. I need you to do something. I hand you an exam and go, sit down and take this. And you didn't think about that?
All right.
And before we start, I just want to mention if we can thank the Museum of Death in Hollywood for allowing us to even get
I would
pictures
like
of
to
that, 'cause
thank the Museum of Death. I've been a
Yes.
big fan of Scientology since I've moved
It's
out
not
here.
Scientology.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
it is.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, that's the other
The
one.
psychiatry one?
They're the
No,
It's just
psychiatry
about death.
Scientology.
It's about
All right.
serial
So I'm.
Where is that
am I-
located?
in Hollywood.
Let's go age, weight, and height.
Because those are always an
All right.
indicator
Let's
of
see.
sociopathy.
Let's see if it's close. Jason's age is 39.
All right, well, 50. This is obviously John Wayne Gacy.
He's 5'11", 225.
5'10", 220.
Wow. Very similar.
Yeah, that's,
Jason wrote his
You know
home
what?
was-
That's serial killer height and fat.
Jason wrote with his home was Panama. I don't. But,
well, that's where I was
No.
born.
yeah, but you're not from Panama.
But I'm not like. I mean, what's home though?
You're not
I
Panamanian.
didn't live anywhere long
And
enough to.
does John Wayne Gacy
he's-
have 3 half brothers and 3 half sisters and a midget mother?
Is your character, is Jason divorced?
Yes.
John Wayne Gacy is also a divorced person.
Okay.
Of a similar height
Here,
and fat.
how about this one? Most treasured honor, Jason's the gift of life.
3 times man of the year. At some fucking men's club or something. Perfect woman or man? Woman, John Wayne Gacy. Independent thinker, self-starter. Man, bright, bold, honest, dependable, cut neck. He actually wrote cut neck here.
Cut neck.
No, he didn't do that. He didn't.
Jason wrote, ideally, you are the perfect man or woman for yourself. In reality, they don't exist.
Did you actually write that?
well, yeah, that's like you're supposed to choose your own happiness. It's like you don't need anybody else in the world.
But
you're
you
supposed
don't.
to be.
You don't even have a type of woman that you're attracted to.
All right,
No,
right.
no. I mean, like idealistically,
Okay, what is? We'll go off subject for. What is your ideal woman?
it's tough to call. Like I like all different kinds of women.
A heavy sleeper, I imagine. No. Honestly, like what type of hair color, what type of build, what type of outlook on
I
life?
actually like tan, olive skin, complected, dark-haired girls. You know, lately.
Dark-haired girls that he can dye their hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thin.
He's right next to him.
Yeah. Thin, Armenian.
No. I mean, I like Latinas.
Lots of
whatever,
hair on their
yeah.
back.
You like Latinos.
Jason's
What-
back.
Us, Latinas, not Latinos.
Jason's just attracted to people who are lazier than himself. No, I'm kidding. We've got a couple of Latinos.
What if it said perfect woman?
Paid under the table like Jason does.
Perfect woman or man? Jason put Duke. Childhood hero. My grandfather is what Jason wrote.
Oh, yeah. John F. Kennedy. That's who he was. And Donald Trump. Current hero is Donald Trump. William H. Macy.
How about for hobbies? Jason put life.
Gacy's still alive?
Gacy died, but he was around when Donald
When
Trump
Trump-
was
oh,
young and up
wow.
and coming.
Yeah, he's huge in the 80s too, wasn't he? Trump?
Right.
Favorite TV shows? This is great, John Wayne Gacy. What do you reckon John Wayne Gacy's favorite TV show is?
Dallas.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Bozo. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah. Unsolved Mysteries.
Or Bozo
and
the Clown?
Unsolved Mystery and National Geographic specials.
Jason's hobbies are life.
Correspondence, oil painting, and study of human interests. That's life.
Jason's favorite meals: a rock spicy tuna roll.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Oh, that's
one
my
right now.
favorite
Yeah,
meal
that's my
as well.
favorite
I
one
had
right
that
now.
today. It was very good. It's very tasty.
Jim, sociopath.
Fried chicken.
that
is
what
John
John
Gacy?
Wayne Gacy's, which is weird because he always put white paint on his face.
Jason's ideal evening is a meal.
Okay, ideal evening. Dinner
Something in common.
and dinner and drinks.
Okay, nobody knows I'm.
A character who loves to tease and joke around.
Jason says heavier than I look.
Is that serious?
Yeah. I'm always heavier than I look.
I think I'm heavier than I look.
I'm
well.
always heavier than I
I'm
look.
210.
I'm sorry.
I'm like 200.
I don't care what John Wayne Gacy said. This is the funniest thing ever. Jason wrote, "My biggest regret, the last 13 years of my life."
You know what? John Wayne Gacy is a fucking horrible person. His biggest regret, being so trusting and gullible and being taken advantage of. His regret is being taken advantage of after all the people.
What I don't like about people, duplicity. My biggest fear, rejection and abandonment. Pet peeves, people that don't wash their hands. Jordan.
What he doesn't like about people? Phonies.
Oh.
I think that's kind of normal, though.
I don't know.
Friends like me because, Jason wrote, I'm fun.
I'm outspoken and fun-loving.
Behind my
But
back.
Gacy doesn't like phonies.
No, Gacy doesn't like phonies. No. He was real. He was in the moment when he killed people.
Jason says, behind my back, they say I'm retarded.
The bastard got it made, and I can't read
And
that.
he's grandiose.
And he's grandiose. There we go.
Wow.
People in history he would have liked to have met: Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci.
Ben Franklin, Tesla, and Sagan.
What if I?
Tesla's cool.
What I think
Not
is,
the band.
What I
No,
think
I
of this
know.
country. Great
too,
if
though.
people would work for it instead of against it.
Oh my God. Jason wrote, it was great and can be great again. Power doesn't define greatness.
Oh.
That's because I watched that Too Big to Fail last night.
That also sounds like something like Batman would say.
Thoughts on
Not who I am inside. And then he jumps off like a building.
okay.
But that just sounded
But
like
he has
Batman.
wings.
That sounded like Batman vs. Krusty the Clown.
Thoughts on crime? Too much political corruption
Oh my God.
and allowed drugs by government has offset the balance of judicial reform and punishment.
Jason says the exact same thing.
No, I said that corruption pretty much breeds the ground for crime. It's kind of like a reciprocal.
Thoughts on drugs? Make some legal to avoid crime block. All else
to avoid crime,
or
block all else to this country.
okay. That was,
Jason wrote, thoughts on drugs. Haven't taken enough yet.
This bit's not going.
No, it's terrible. Let's get rid of it.
That was Lilith's idea.
Well, you're supposed to let him answer.
No, Lily.
No,
it didn't
Lily,
work
it
at
wasn't
all.
good. It wasn't
was
a good
terrible.
bit. It was Boo! You suck! I want Lindsay! Bring Lindsay back, you hairy Armenian whore! You've ruined the show!
I'll
Because you
even
don't have the cognitive abilities to read.
Boo!
That was awful, Lily.
Boo! You've ruined the show. You know how many
Because
people?
you can't make
Do you know how many?
You guys can't make it funny and you're blaming it on me.
No, we can't make things funny, and
Yeah.
you've got to
Aren't
shoot.
you?
He has
Have you got-
identical similarities.
Yeah,
Oh, so does Jim.
yeah.
I bet you if he took the test, he'd be right there with me.
Lily, go,
I-
Should have done the
Except for
guess
hobbies,
who
he'd put
is saying it.
Spider-Man.
go have
pinball.
sex with Treadwell.
Yeah, Treadwell. We're gonna have him back on the show.
Yeah. We're going to have Treadwell take your position.
Treadwell?
Paul Provenza brought this guy here named
Don't. He writes to me. He hates me. he
Paul,
blames
Paul
me
brought
for
some
everything
guy
that went wrong
said
on
was
the
like
show.
more retarded than Jason, and he has sex with he's like 18 and he has sex with like 67-year-old women, and he was going to be so exciting and,
And
crazy.
Lolita hooked up with him?
No, he was just such a he
too
was
young
just
for him.
so annoying and trying so hard. And then we gave him shit, and then he wrote to Jim and was like, "You're an asshole for putting me on your show."
Well, I've
And-
said he could come back on the show and redeem himself, but you know,
and even Jason had.
allegedly I was the meanest to him. I don't remember that. I remember
That's the
it
night I
was-
hurt my back, actually, doing the worm
Yeah.
against Treadwell.
We've heard this.
Isn't Treadwell the program that made Jason Bourne?
I think so. It was-
Treadstone.
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 the reason I used Treadwell was Timothy Treadwell was the dude that got eaten by the grizzly bear.
Oh, okay.
Grizzly Man, did you ever see that documentary?
Grizzly Man, yeah, I saw it.
It's fucking funny. The guy goes out and hangs out with grizzly bears
That
in,
guy
the-
was
in
just a
Alaska.
total nut job, right?
Yeah. And he talks about how he's like best friends with the grizzly
He
bears.
was like the
and-
same movie as the Sean Penn movie, but
Is
Sean
this
Penn
a-
movie was hipper
Is
Yeah.
that the
with
movie?
Emil Hirsch.
Is that the movie where the bear eats the guy at the end?
Yeah.
I've always heard about this film. I've never seen
It's
this film.
fucking
Werner
awesome.
Herzog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's ruined for me. The ending's ruined.
No,
for me.
but they tell you at the very beginning
Yeah.
of the film that he dies, and it's still awesome. You're rooting for him
It's
to
like
get
the
eaten.
crying game of those movies.
The whole movie, you're like, when's he gonna get eaten? I can't wait. You want to see him get
I don't
eaten.
even
It's
remember.
weird-
Did
it's
you
weird.
see it on camera?
No, what happened was the camera fell on the ground while the bear was eating him, and then Werner Herzog has the tape
The audio.
and takes it to his best friend, and he's like, I have the audio, you can listen to it. She puts headphones on, he listens, and he goes, now I'm going to destroy it. It's like the Osama bin
I
Laden
remember.
pictures.
You're right.
We're going to
Yeah,
destroy
right.
it. And it's like, well, nobody really gives a fuck. Let's look at it.
I have a quick question for all five of us. Do you have a mic? All four? Yeah.
Yeah.
Without jokes, can you guys? And I know mine. I just thought of it. Tell me the craziest footage you've ever seen that's is real and is not like joke or staged or.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
The craziest thing I ever saw was a porn, and it was a girl getting fucked by a Dalmatian, and I saw it when I was like 15.
And you saw the dick going in.
And that's
Yeah, I
And
would.
like a pink dick just
Right,
going
right.
back.
That's
and forth,
what
back
made
and
her
forth.
what
That
she
is
is.
pretty
That was
insane.
pretty
I've seen
crazy.
that. Yeah, I've seen those.
I've seen animal stuff, but a Dalmatian would be pretty.
The
insane.
one where the guy puts the jar up his ass and the ass cracks and the blood starts dripping out and he
Yeah.
pulls it out.
okay.
one guy,
definitely
one
real.
jar. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. One guy, one jar. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's pretty horrific.
What's
but
yours,
this
Ed?
is Eddie Ift comes back every now and again to the house. I don't know what's wrong with him. When,
Yeah, I
when
don't like
when I
watching
first
things Eddie
moved in here, Eddie would call me down to the living room to watch like some guy putting a nail down the end of his cock, and that would be
Yeah.
like Eddie would be like, "I've got more," and I'm like, "I don't want to
Yeah.
watch it," or someone just
Or
poking
the
an
stumper,
eyeball.
the guy with his foot stump, like shoving it in another guy's
Oh,
ass.
yeah,
to the,
yeah.
To the Donkey Kong soundtrack.
Oh yes. No, I got to give that one's pretty cool. Eddie found footage of two gay guys, and one guy lubed up. He was an amputee, and he had a stump leg, and he lubed the leg up, and he was fucking with the stump up the other guy's ass, and they're in bondage gear. But what I like about it more, they both
How do you
seem
know they're
very
gay?
happy.
How do you know they're gay?
They had moustaches.
So what's yours, Eddie?
They were,
So if you're a connoisseur of these
He
videos,
would-
which one honestly shocked you the most of anyone you've seen?
I'm
Of-
not going to tell you who sent it to me, and I think it was illegal that I watched it because I
Okay.
think it was a snuff film.
Okay.
But have you ever seen?
I don't think there's a snuff film.
I think it was. They put this Japanese woman.
But so this is one that Jim has seen, but it wasn't
Have
as
I sh-
alarming to you as the
Have I
stump.
showed you this?
No.
They put this
Oh.
woman in shrink wrap,
Okay.
and then they suck all the oxygen out of it.
Right.
And I've only watched it the one time because I was so fucking.
Does she try to fight out?
Nothing ever. Like they'll tell you, I can watch anything.
It's good. That's how those Asians stay so young looking. Put anything in cling film, it will last.
And so what happens?
I just wanted you to bask in that. So they put her in, and it's
Wasn't
like
that bad a joke.
She's in like. Have you ever seen when people like vacuum pack their clothes?
Yes,
and stuff?
yeah.
So she's in it, and I don't know why she's like willingly doing this. Like the guy's like, it was like I don't know who was working the vacuum machine. It might have been like Jim Jeffries, because the woman's like, okay, I'll try it. And they just start sucking the air out, and all of a sudden she starts fighting, like, oh my God, I'm dying. And then they just fucking like suck her air completely out, and she suffocates and dies.
And so you see, okay.
And I just witnessed a murder.
Was she naked?
Yeah, completely naked.
Wow.
And then I wiped the cum off my stomach.
Right.
And I was like, this is probably illegal.
I said, don't be funny with this.
Okay. No, but it's
All right,
true.
what's the most horrific thing you've ever wanked to?
Wait. Jordan's got
Oh, yeah, I
something.
gotta say mine.
He's probably going to top us
No,
all.
it's not going to happen, and you may have seen this, but for some reason this was the most alarming thing I've ever seen. It wasn't even sexual. It's funny, every one you guys said it's been sex. It was the guy that jumps out of the plane and his parachute doesn't open. Have you seen that?
Oh, I think
But he survives, and so he lands in some like bushes, and he's just bloody, and you see his.
unreal.
I haven't
he's got
seen
a
that.
camera the whole time.
I haven't seen that, but I did see the guy in the wingsuit. You know what wingsuits are?
No.
These guys put on wingsuits and they can basically fly. They parachute out of buildings and or out of planes or base jump, and they come down and they've got a suit that makes them pretty much like a bird, and then they fly. But they fly along cliffs and go
Yeah,
up.
I've
down
seen that, yeah.
from the this guy goes and they try to get really close to this bridge where people can take pictures.
Yeah.
And this dude just hits the bridge
Head first.
and the two other guys with him, their cameras get covered with blood as he hits
Wow.
the bridge.
I think I saw that on America's Funniest Home Videos.
By the way, the One Guy, One Jar if you're listening to this, go to not Cat Williams. Who's the other comic? He's a little guy.
Cat Stevens.
Little black dude.
Sorry, Yusuf Islam.
Yusuf Islam. I love Cat Stevens, but just anyone who gets that into religion, I can't really be on board with.
I just can't believe he did that jar video.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not
religion,
time to make a
fundamentalist.
change.
No. But I have to tell you this because you have to watch it. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see. You know how people do the response videos? Like it's everybody watching Two
Yes,
Girls, One
yes.
Cup or watching One Guy, One Jar.
The best parody of that ever was on Human Giant. You ever see that?
No.
Where they did I guess Rob Hubel cut his penis off. And then it gets really huge and viral. And you're saying, your parents have seen it? Everyone's seen it? And they're showing the reaction videos. And so then he's being interviewed on the news. And Aziz is the guy who makes funny faces. And so they're interviewing like viral video stars. And Hubel, I guess, had 25,000 hits. And Aziz makes funny faces. And he has like 70,000.
Oh, and he's mad because he cut his cock off.
Yeah,
And
he's like, so he's just giving him shit.
Well, this is I know the name. His name is Lil Duval, and he's a black comedian from like Atlanta, like little tiny guy, and his name's Lil Duval. And back when MySpace was big, I wrote as my influence Lil Duval. I didn't even know who he was,
Right.
And I didn't know he was big, but apparently he asked a couple black comics. He's like, you know who Eddie Ifft is? Because he says I'm his influence, and he wanted to like.
Why did you write him as your
As a
influence?
joke, just
if
as a
you didn't know who he was.
Because he was always on MySpace. He was one of those guys
that's
that
whose
marketed
site
a lot.
you want people to go to see that video?
Okay, so I stumble upon him on One Guy, One Jar. He pays his like sidekick, who's kind of like a Jason. He's this big, fat black guy. He pays to sit in front of the computer and watch One Guy, One Jar. But the black guy, the big, fat black guy, only has one eye. And the other eye,
I've seen this.
His glass eye is a star. He has a star in his eye, and he has him watch it. And tears are coming out of my eyes as he's watching it because he pays him $1,000 if he can watch the whole thing. And he goes, "Oh, this will be easy. This will be easy. This will be easy." And he sits down and he goes, "Oh, what kind of crazy nigga does this shit? Oh, what kind of crazy ass nigga?" Oh. And he starts like vomiting while he's watching it, and it is so much funnier than even the guy bleeding out of his asshole.
But you know what I will?
it's
The thing I was
Jason.
going to tell you, a fact that I learned a fact this week, which I had never heard about, which is, which I had never thought about, that people who are like extremely kind of morbidly obese, because this guy I know is a wine importer, and his someone he works with from France, I guess, comes over. The guy's morbidly obese and can't fit into airplane bathrooms.
Right.
And so he has to not drink or eat for a day or hours, almost as if he's going into surgery anytime he flies back to London from LA, which I never even thought about because
my
he can't pee,
God.
or if you have to poo or pee,
Yeah, they are.
which I never thought about. Like even if you're in first class, the bathroom is still this big.
Yeah.
When I was in grade school, I don't think I ever took a shit ever in like grade school. I would never use a public toilet.
I never used the toilets to a shit at school, not once.
ever. I went home, and I'll tell you why. I was in first grade. My cousin was in
You're
second
telling me
grade.
I'm a germaphobe. But
I once went a four-day camp without shitting.
I'm a fucking freak when it comes to like germs and stuff. Like I eat all natural shit and whatever. He knows I'm a weirdo. But when I was in first grade, my cousin was in second, and his best friend was second. We would meet in the toilets.
And wank each other off.
Yes. And kick the stall doors in. That was like the fun thing to do, to try to catch someone taking a shit, because no one took a shit. It was like weird to take a shit.
Right.
This one day we meet there, we kick the toilet door in because we see feet at the bottom, and there's a guy in there. His name's Paul Konstantakis. And Paul is in there, and he is not...
he's the president of American Express now.
Yes. Well, we don't know what happened
We don't
because
know.
listen,
Okay.
Paul is standing there with not just shit like on the floor, it's on the toilet, it's on the walls, it's on his hands, it's on his shirt, it's on his face. It's like he
That's why no one ever shit there.
Wait.
The place was cursed.
he just fucking shit everywhere and then like danced in it. I don't know what he
Wow.
fucking did, but we freaked out. And you know what we did as little first and second graders? We went to the office and told on him.
Why would you?
I don't know. We
Did you
went.
take one of those forms and fill it out?
Jason said it funny. So we went and we told on him. And for like the next like 3 weeks, he was known as Pooh Man Paul. Everyone called him Pooh Man Paul.
Only for 3 weeks?
Well, he left the school and never came back. But I don't know why we told on him.
That reminds me of
I got away with that once. Something like
Whoa,
that.
whoa.
I was in the 4th grade.
No. I thought you were
Last
gonna go.
week.
I thought you were gonna go. I got away with that once. I once went into a school and smeared
No,
this
you
kid
know,
with
like
shit.
you know when you're a little kid,
Left him in a
you're-
cubicle.
in your names and everything you own when you go to because you go to summer camps or something like that.
Oh, my mother still would write my name on things.
If
I
we were
left
walking, it was the end of the
it.
day. I had the same policy. I never ever want to go to the bathroom in the schools. It's the end of the day, and it was like I thought I could sneak out one of those little farts, and I happened to be at the end of the line that was going to the bus home, and like it came out, and like I ducked in the bathroom, and like I went to throw my underwear in the trash. I was like, oh shit,
We've told this story before.
we did.
We
Yeah,
did, yeah.
you told
we
the
told this
story
story before in one of the first few episodes.
Are you sure it wasn't when you made me do stand up on the thing?
No.
Oh, it's similar.
I'll tell you a shit myself story. I was on Singapore Airlines flying out to Hong Kong or something like that to do gigs, and I got food poisoning on the plane, right? And I was feeling a bit crook, and I left my bags with the baggage guy to fucking bring them up. Anyway, I shat myself in the elevator. It just came across me like I was fine. I checked in, I'm in the elevator, and not just like a little follow through of a fart, like completely shat myself. Just like shit dribbling down my legs, just and crying.
Wow.
And I ran up the hallway with a fucking trail of shit behind me. I got into the fucking shower, took everything, started rinsing myself. I was shitting in the shower over and over and over again. And I thought, okay, I'm fine. And I put the white robe on, just feeling the most horrible I've ever felt in my room. And then the guy knocked on the door to give me my bags. He opened the door and I shut the white robe.
Wow.
All right, we got a couple of things we got to do before we go. I wanted to thank. We got some donations. Some people really helped us out. Joshua Mancuso, whoever you are, thank you for your support. Really good guy. I mean, unbelievable. Scott Martin, thank you very much. David Zimmer, Jennifer Marks, and Robert Saunders. Chick donated. You guys can still donate. Help out the show. We got a lot of people
And
working
Chaz
on the
Bono.
show. Yeah. Make sure.
How do they donate to you guys?
On our website, you go to jimanettitalkshit.com.
and how does
to
it pay?
donate.
Is it like PayPal?
It's PayPal, and they just donate, and they get T-shirts and
cool.
CDs and DVDs and posters. So make sure you donate. We'll take care of you. You guys, thanks for taking care of us. You've been great. You can find Jim on...
JimJeffries.com. And
Yeah.
as I said, Chicago Comedy Festival coming up is the next real big gig that I'm doing where
Yes.
I'd like to sell some tickets.
Yeah, so find that. Go to Jim
Throw
and
on the
Eddie.
first pitch at Wrigley Field.
JimandEddieTalkShit.com. Also, go to Stitcher Radio. Put in the code Jim and Eddie. Also, Jordan, anything? You got to watch Jordan's show. I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, you can check out the download at ComedyCentral.com or just go to my
And
Twitter.
you've got
and
enough Twitter followers. You have 1 million Twitter followers.
I do not.
Yeah, you do.
How many do you have?
I think I have like 60,000 or something.
That's a lot, man.
That's a lot for a private citizen like myself.
Jason, what do you have coming up?
Not much.
So you can find us. Go to our websites. You can find everything from JimandEddieTalkShit.com. So just go there. Also, AdamandEve.com. Please help out our sponsor. And what?
Mailing list.
What?
Mailing list.
Oh, and join the mailing
Jim and
list.
Eddie at
Jim and Eddie.
yahoo.com.
Everything. Jim and Eddie. Talkshit.com. Jim and Eddie. Talkshit.com. Jim
I
and
like
Eddie
the way
talk-
you just whispered.
fucking-
I like the way you whispered. What? Yeah. Like as if the plugs before they've been so professional, and then Jesse threw it off with his one trying to help you out with the mailing list.
So that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Jordan.
you for
Rubin.
having me.
Thanks, everybody else. And go fuck yourself.
Me or everyone?
Talking shit.